He lunged, out of nowhere. No growl, no change in posture, just stillness, and then pure explosive movement. I'd spent months building his obedience, his trust, his discipline. But in that one moment, it was gone. What triggered it? A subtle shift in my tone, that's all. And that's when I realized, this breed isn't just smart. It's hyper-intelligent and emotionally reactive in a way that most trainers, even seasoned ones, completely underestimate. This behavior, this instant shift from calm to chaos, is something only a handful of Malinois owners ever truly understand. And it's the reason some professionals quietly avoid the breed altogether. Belgian Malinois aren't just working dogs, they're working machines, designed with a level of intensity that borders on obsession. Most people think they're getting a loyal protector, something like a sleeker German Shepherd. But what they're actually bringing home is a high-performance rocket with a mind of its own. In this video, we're going deep into the one behavior that consistently stuns even experienced trainers. Not just because it's intense, but because it reveals something terrifying. The Malinois doesn't just follow commands. It studies you, it learns you, and if you don't keep up, it will outthink you and take control. Let's start with what most people never expect, the emotional mirroring. A Belgian Malinois doesn't just sense your mood, it reacts to it in real time. If you're nervous, they get hyper alert. If you're angry, they brace for confrontation. But if you're distracted or inconsistent, that's when things go south. And I don't mean small disobedience, I mean full behavioral shutdowns, sudden aggression spikes, or obsessive behavior patterns that explode seemingly out of nowhere. One trainer told me his Malinois began growling at his wife, not because she did anything, but because he thought the trainer was in danger. The dog had memorized micro-patterns in body language and tone that even humans can't consciously detect. And here's the wild part. These dogs don't wait for commands. If they perceive a threat, even if it's imagined, they act. They calculate. In the middle of a crowded park, your Malinois may decide that the jogger who got too close is a target, unless you've spent months conditioning them to pause and wait for your cue. For most dogs, obedience is about repetition. For the Malinois, it's about trust and leadership. If they sense weakness, hesitation, or emotional instability, they'll fill the leadership vacuum in a heartbeat. This isn't dominance theory, it's survival instinct. And it shocks trainers who expect obedience to be enough. But the behavior that truly floors even seasoned professionals? It's predictive aggression. This is when a Malinois begins to act, not react, to a situation before it even unfolds. I've seen it happen with dogs trained in personal protection. The handler smiles at a stranger, and the dog tenses. Why? Because earlier that day, someone else smiled the same way and then raised their voice. The dog remembers. It connects emotional dots in ways that seem almost psychic. And once that behavior locks in, it's nearly impossible to undo without reprogramming from the ground up. This is the moment most trainers realize they're not just training a dog. They're negotiating with a mind that never stops working. You can't skip a day. You can't let your guard down. And if you do, the Malinois notices and adapts. One missed boundary can result in weeks of regression. I've seen a dog that was calm in the morning go full-on destructive by evening, just because the mental stimulation wasn't enough. Not just chewed shoes, we're talking drywall ripped open, doorknobs clawed, windows scratched. It's not bad behavior, it's mental overload. But here's the twist. That same dog, once you tap into its brain properly, becomes unstoppable. That predictive behavior, it can be channeled, trained, refined. A Belgian Malinois trained properly can anticipate your movements like a dance partner. They'll move before you move, guard before you ask. They read situations, posture, intent, and they act accordingly. That's why they're trusted in elite military and police units. Because when they're on your team, they're not just following, they're thinking ahead of you. Still, there's a price. You have to earn that level of partnership every single day. You have to be emotionally grounded, structured, consistent, and that's what breaks most people. The Malinois doesn't just need a leader, they demand it. Not out of rebellion, but because their survival instinct tells them someone has to steer the ship. And if you won't do it, they will. That's the shocking behavior that most trainers won't admit publicly. These dogs will take the reins if you show weakness, and when they do, it's nearly impossible to take that leadership back. What no one tells you is that the Belgian Malinois is the ultimate mirror. They will reflect your energy, your stability, your discipline. If your life is chaotic, they become chaos. If you're calm, assertive, and purposeful, they will become the most loyal, driven, emotionally attuned dog you've ever known. But there is no middle ground, no casual ownership, no, I'll train them on weekends. With a Malinois, it's all or nothing. And if you choose nothing, the consequences will shock you, and not in a way you'll easily recover from. So ask yourself this: are you training your dog, or is your dog training you? Because the moment you stop leading, the Malinois takes over. And when they do, they don't ask permission, they decide. And that right there is the behavior even experienced trainers find themselves unprepared for. A dog that doesn't just learn, but thinks in ways that rival instinct and intellect. A dog that will challenge you not just physically, but mentally and emotionally every single day. But if you can rise to that challenge, if you can meet them on their level, the rewards are unlike anything else. This is a dog that will bond with you so deeply, it'll seem like they can read your mind. They'll become your shadow, your guardian, your partner in life, but only if you prove worthy. This isn't a companion. This is a commitment. One that shocks most people. One that humbles even the best trainers. And one that, if done right, will change your life forever. So now the question is, could you handle this level of intensity? Or would this dog break you before you even knew what hit you? If this opened your eyes, leave a comment below. Have you experienced anything like this with your Malinois? And if you want to see how they stack up against other elite guard dogs, check out this video next. Trust me, it'll blow your mind.